Hi, how you doing? It's Jeff back again with yet another Iron Maiden song, and this one, of course, is The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner. It's a long song, and there are a lot of sections to cover in this one. So I am going to make sure that you're going to have access to the tablature, and also I'm going to include a backing track so you can play along with all of the harmonies that are in this song, and there is quite a few of them. I'm going to cover all of the guitar parts, but I'm not going to be covering the guitar solos. It'd be such a long video, so it would. There's enough to do just playing all of the rhythm guitar parts. Now, if this is the first time to the channel, hi, how you doing? It's great to see you. Hopefully you've come here because you are an Iron Maiden fan, and I know you're going to enjoy this channel. I'm heading towards, I think it's now getting towards 60 odd, near towards 70 lessons by Iron Maiden. And of course we've got a sprinkling of Saxon and some Judas Priest on there as well. So, do me a huge favour. Click on that subscribe button, click on that bell. Helps me, and of course it's going to notify you whenever I'm posting any new lessons to the channel. Anyway, enough of the plugs. Let's get into it and let me show you how to play The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner. So don't go away.
Preview.
Right, let's just go through the opening sequence. First of all, I'm going to be looking at the clean guitar part. Now, all of the chords that we're going to be using through this sequence are sus2 chords. What that means, if you think of an E minor chord where you're playing the 7, 9, 9, 8, 7, what we're going to do, we're going to be just lifting up our second finger. So it's going to be 7, 9, 9, 7, 7. Now, all of the chords that we use in this sequence are going to be played like that. So every single one is a sus2 chord. So we start off like this, which is an E sus, down to 3rd fret for a C sus, up to 5th fret for a D sus2. And then we do E to D, and we repeat E sus2, C sus2, D sus2, and then the E. Now, with this song, what always happens with all of the passages that we're playing, we are going to move up from that position that was on the E. We're going to move up 3 frets. We're going to put minor 3rd. So this time we go into a G sus2, to an E flat sus2, which is on 6th fret, to an F, and then back to the G, to the F, and repeat. G sus2, E flat sus2, F. And from there, we then change to an overdrive guitar. So we'll just do that now. Now we follow the same pattern, but this time we're just playing 5 chords. So we start off with that E5, to the C, D, E, D, to G, E flat, F, G, F, G, E flat, F. Now from there we go into the verse, but what we're going to look at now is we're going to look at the lead guitar that is played over the top of that. So I'll just play the first section and I'll break it down. So we start off on the 9th fret, we're going to play that twice, so we get this. And from there we're going to go across to the B string and we're going to do 7, 8, 10, 8, 7, 8. And then finishing off on the 7 on the G string. So far. Next part, we're going to play the 7 to the 9 on the G, crossing over to the 7 on the B string. and we've got an 8, then we've got a quick 7, 8, 7 on the B string, crossing back to the 9 on the G string, and we're going to play 9, 7, 9. So we get then we start the whole thing off again. Then the last time we don't go back to the 9, we on the 7, but then we're going to move up to the 12th fret. Now, remember I said the thing about this song is everything that we've played moves up a minor third, so it's moving up 3 frets, and this is exactly what happens now, because we move from that 7 down there, we're going to play the whole passage but 3 frets higher, same sequence, so we get this. So that sequence there starts on the 12 on the G, and we go across and we do a 10, 11, 13, back down to the 11, to the 10 and back to the 8. So finishing up on the 10 on the G. The next part is doing that 10, 12, cross over to the 10 and then 11. Then we've got that 10, 11, 10, back to the 12, and then 10, 12, and we repeat. Then we move down and we repeat the same thing that we did previously, which was on that 9th fret. And then we move back up and we play the same thing again in that 12th position. So we go. And then we stop on that 10th fret. Now from there we are into the verse, and there is also a meter change at this point. So the meter has now gone up to 180 beats per minute, so it's going a little bit faster. And we're going to start off playing the Iron Maiden Gallop, and it starts off on the 5th fret on the D string. So I'll just play you through the passage and then I'll break it down nice and slow for you. So what we're playing there a little bit slower time is this. So we're going from this 5 to the 7, back to the 5, to the 8, and then back to the 7 on the G strings. And again, let's just play that a little bit slower. We got this group of 3. Okay, do you hear that? Now, once we played that 7 there, we're just going to run down from the 5 to the on the G. We then do a 8, 7, 5 on the D string, and then we do the same thing on the A string, and that takes us back in, so we get this. Final one, we do the same rundown. Then we go back up, so we're doing this 5, 8, 7, 5, 8, 7, 5. Then we go back up to the 7, 8 on the A, cross over to the D string, and we do the 5, 7, 8, to the 7, to the 5, and then we're going to finish off with an E5 power chord. Now, of course, that is played very, very fast, as you saw, so I would just practice getting that whole finishing on hopefully a better power chord than I just played on that. Right, let's look at what is seen as the bridge section. Now what we're doing there, we are playing from a 10 to a 9 on the A string, but all these are all 5 chords. So it's G to an F sharp. Move down to the E, which is on 7th fret. Moving across to a B5, which is played on the D and G, which is on 9, 11. Go back to the 10th fret, and we're going to go from the G to an E. We repeat. But this time, instead of going down to the E from that 12, we go to the F sharp. And we're going to move up to the 12th fret, and we're doing a 12 to 11. From 9 on the A to 11, 13 on the D and G. Back up to the 12 on the A, down to 9th fret. Back to the 11 to the 12 to 11. From that F sharp, which is on 9, to the 12 on the A string, down to a D. Then we back to that. Play through that again, and then we come all the way back and we play that bridge section again. And there we are into the chorus section. So I'll just play through the first part of the chorus section. It goes like this. So we start off playing a D5, and we're going to play 2 chugs in between each one of them. So we get... Now the last one is... Move down to the D, so the B flat, and we do the same thing, but we're going to play this only 4 times. Then we've got this little, on the G string, we're doing a 3-2-0 to the 3 on the D string, moving up to the C5, doing the chugs. Down to an F. So the only difference with that rhythm there is when we hit the B flat, where we get this. Just getting that 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 little chugs, and then onto the C. So that's the only difference on that. Now, at this point, one of the guitars departs and plays a riff that we're going to look at in a few minutes, but the other guitar just continues playing through that sequence, but he doesn't put in that little riff. So when we hit the B flat the next time, we're going to play it exactly as the D. So we would get... And it continues to play that while the guitar is doing the section that we're going to look at now. So this is what the second guitar is playing. I believe this is Adrian Smith, but forgive me if I'm wrong. but it goes like this. Okay, now then, what we're doing, we're starting off with a D minor chord, and we are just picking on the B, the G, and the D. So what we're doing, we're holding down 6 on the B string, and then we're doing 7 and 7 on the G and B. I put a little bit of a mute on there because I don't want the notes ringing out. And we're just going to lift up our finger, keeping the bar off first finger. This is why I say use it as an E minor, because we're just going to lift our finger up and we're going to play a C chord, but all we're doing is playing 5, 5, 5. Then we go back and we repeat. Now you're going to do that 6 times, that sequence. Now on the 7th time round, all we're going to do, we're just going to keep our 2nd finger on the 6th fret and then play 5 and 5. Then we bring our little finger up to 8 and we do 8, 5, 5. Then it's back to... And then we finish on the last one, which is a 7. So after that little passage with the 8, we're just going to play this 1, 2, 3, finishing on that 5 there. From that part, we are into the first interlude section. Now this section has got a harmony played across it between the 2 guitars. So we're going to look at the first one, which goes like this. So we started off with 6th fret on the B string. We got a 5, 6, 5 hammer on pull up, then to 7 and then to 5 on the G. Then we've got this passage here which starts off on the 6 and then going to the 5 on the B. Then I've got on the G string 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, crossing over to the 5 on the B. Then I go back and repeat the whole thing, which is 6, 5 again. 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 6 on the B string and back to the 7 on the G. So, slow time. And we would repeat that again. Now the harmony is played up here on 10th fret on the B string, and we're going 10, 8. So we're doing 10 and then 8 with that hammer on. 8, 10, 8. Cross over to the 10 on the G string, and it's going to 10 and then to 9. So. Then I go back to the 10 on the B string, and I'm going to run through the same pattern, but again just using these notes that we've got up here. So it goes 10, 8, and then we got 10, 9. And then back to the 8, and then we repeat. And then we finish off the final part where we're going to 10 on the B to the 10 on the G. So we get. And of course repeat. And that is played, of course, with the second one to create the harmony. Okay, let's look at the next section. So it goes like this. So what I'm doing now, I'm starting off on a B flat 5 chord, and I've got 4 chugs of 4 16ths. So down, up, down, up. Repeat. Now the next one, I do exactly the same thing, but after the power chord, I do another one. And then I move up to a C. So I get. And then we play the riff similar to what we just did. So I'm doing a 6-5 on the B, cross over to the 7, and I do this 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, to the 6 on the B, to the 7, and then it's back to, and repeat. From there we are into the second interlude harmony section. So let me just play that for you. And then it would repeat back on what we're doing. So we go. So what are we playing there? Well, we are starting off on 8 fret on the B string, going to 7. To a 7 on the G, to the 9. We go back and we do an 8 to 7 to 7 on the G. Then we do a 7, 9 on the G, to the 7 on the B, and then we got this 8, 7, 7. And then we get 8, 7, 7 again, to the 10 on the D. And we do a 10 on the D again, across to 7 and 9 on the G. And then 8, 7, to the 7 on the G again. Finishing on 9. Back to the 8, 7, 7 on the G. And then it's 7 again to the 9. And then 8, 7, 7 on the G. 7, 9, 7, 7, 9 and 7 on the G. And 8, 7 again on the B. 7 on the G. 7, 9, 7. You can see the pattern forming now. Final part, we just come down. Finishing on that 10. The final part, we are playing the 8, 7 and then 7 on the G. Back to that 7, 9. And then 8, 7, 9 to 9 this time. To 7 on the G. To 10. To the 9. So we get this. So it goes like this. Now we're into verse number 3, and verse number 3 is different to the previous verses, so I'm just going to play it through and then I'll just go through the chords as sequence in that. So the rhythm is constant throughout this. We're going back to that usual one that we was playing. This time though we're up on the E, so we're not doing it on the D before, so we're on the E. So we got this. Down to the C. Up to the D. Now we go down to the A, and we're only going to do one bar on that. And up to the C, and then up to the D, down to the A, and then up to the C, bringing that, so we go back to the 7, C, A, C, and then to the D. So now we're into the first of the solos, so let's just go through all of the chords that have been played behind that solo. Now each one of these chords is held for a whole bar. So we start off with a G5, 2, 3, 4 to a D5, to an E5, to a C5, back to the G5, D, to the C. Now on this one we're going to hold this for 2 bars. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, D, E, C, G, 5, which is the D, and then back to the C, all for 2 bars. Now at this point, Dave Warwick and Adrian Smith switch over, so the chords behind the next solo go like this. So what I'm doing, I'm just playing an A5 to an F, to a D, and holding that for 2 bars, and then I repeat. And that gets repeated through, I believe that's 4 times. Now from here we go all the way back to the beginning of the song where we changed the tempo up to 180 beats per minute. So we go back onto that 5 where we play the Iron Maiden Gallop. We play that, we go all the way through that, all of the sections that we've covered. So from there we go into the chorus, which was the play through all of that, and we've also got that section, that whole section gets played. Once we've covered that, we then go even further back to the beginning of the song where we was playing with the power chords over the lead line, because that lead line is also repeated. So we're doing that section gets repeated all over again. Once we've completed that, we then go into the next interlude, which is also a dual harmony. So let's go and check that section out now. Let's have a look at the last section and I'll play it through for you. Okay, what we're doing, we're starting off on the 9th fret on the G string, and we're playing 9, 7, 9. Cross over to the B string, and we're doing 7, 8, 7. Here we go. And then cross over to the G string, and we're doing a 9, 7, 9, 7. Cross over to the D string, and we're doing a 9, 7, 9. So that section. And we go back and we repeat the same part as we open up. We get this 9, 7, 9, 8, 7, 8, back to the 7, and then 9, 7, 9, 7, 9. And then the only change on this, we're going to go to the 7 on the high E, to the 8 on the B. So that section. Next part, we are already on that 8 on the B string. So we play 8, 7, 8, 10. And then we're going to play high E7. And then we've got 10, 8, 7, and then 9, 7 on the G string, and then 9, 7, 9 on the D. So we goes like this. Then we go back and we repeat what we've just been playing. Now that whole section then gets repeated all through, all the way to the end, apart from that last bar. So where we played before, we play. We played that at the end. What he does is this. He goes. So what I'm doing there, I'm doing that 9-7-9 again. 7-8-7 on the B. Then back to the 9-7 on the G string. And then we get this 9 on the G, and then we'll do a 7-9-7. We do 9 on the D string, 7 on the D, and then down to the 7 on the E. What we'll do, we'll also look at the little harmony of that section, which is played by the second guitar. So I'll just play it through and then we'll break it down. Okay, so it's the same phrasing obviously, but we're just starting off this. Now this is similar to what we played on the previous one, of course, because of the harmony on it, but we're doing a 8 on the B, and then 7-8-10 on the B. Cross over to the 7 on the high E, then 10-8-7-8-7 on the B string. So you get, then it's a 9-7-9 on the G. Start off repeating. And then we got this 8. And then we do a 10-7. So that part there, that harmony goes. And then we're going to move up to 12th fret, and we're doing a 12-10-12 on the B, and then 10-12-10 on the high E, then 12-10-12-10 on the B, and then it's 12-11-12. So that part goes. Back again. And we're back on the 8th fret. Which is exactly what we played before on the previous one. So of course, once we've done that, we go back and we repeat everything. The only difference is that little phrase right at the end, of course, where we're going from that little part, we're going. Of course, the only difference is that little part at the end where we did that little hammer on just to finish the phrase. So what we're doing here, we started off with the 8. So we're just coming down. So what we've got the phrase on there, 8-7-8-10. Cross over to the high E on the 7. 10-8-7. We've got back to the 8 on the B, then it's the 7-8-7 on the B, 9 on the G, 7 on the G, and then 9 on the D string. So that are both harmonies there just covered, taking us to the end of the song. Well, quite a long song, isn't it? A lot of parts to go through, but they're not really that hard to play. You just follow it through, and of course, I will be including the tablature, which will be in the link below, takes you to my website. You'll be able to follow it through. And also the backing track, which I am creating for this, which enables you to play through all these harmonies, so you can really hear the sound of them when you're playing them. Well, I am going to let you go, and I'm going to let you get into it, download all the various parts so you can really enjoy going through this song. But until the next time, this is Jeff, wishing you well, and I'll speak to you again real soon. Until then, goodbye.